My experiences working with Zoe have been very interesting. The experience has been less academic than I've had with other agencies, less textbook than I've had with other agencies. They're far more creative and they tend to challenge me in ways that I haven't been challenged before and get me to think in new and different ways about promotion and advertising. They listen, but are free with their advice and direction. They ask really outstanding probing questions when we have our frequent conversations about what's coming up next. And for us, it has really turned around, particularly one service area of the organization where we have almost doubled the patient volume in a matter of about 8 months. It's probably cliche, but it's the personal touch. It's the individual investment. It's the one-on-one conversations that make the biggest difference. The larger agency, as I've talked about, really wanted to just move us along in lockstep, it seemed, with their other clients. It was, we're the big guys, we know what we're doing, just follow our lead and you'll be fine. And there wasn't a lot of input. And honestly, when I provided input, it was almost shaming of how dare you have an idea, because we're the experts. And that just, it didn't sit well with me. Plus, the product wasn't very good. It's helped the organization by being not just the firm that places ads, not just the firm that manages our social media, but almost as an extension of our employees. They've really become a de facto staff to us and have become the marketing department that I actually don't have. Marketing and communications is my responsibility as chief operating officer. So having the agency not just be separate from us, but really become part of us has made a huge difference. We've taken the brand and built it in a completely different way than it had been up to the point before we started with Zoey. So the larger agency had done a rebranding effort, which created a new logo, a new tagline, kind of a new look. But brand is so much more than your logo. It's so much more than your colors. It's really who you feel you are and how you relate to the community and how the community sees you. We didn't have those types of discussions before Zoey. So Zoey's helped us to really explore who Syracuse Community Health Center is, who it wants to be, and how we want to relate to the community and the story that we want to tell. In working with Zoey, we determined that the best strategy was probably to break it down by service line and really identify each service line as its own entity, and really take that and appeal to consumers who need that particular service and may not need all the other things that we do. So rather than an overwhelming, we're the shopping mall approach to healthcare promotion, we really targeted certain services to certain segments of the population. So the service line approach and breaking it down into individual services, I think, really made a tremendous difference for us. The target audiences of Syracuse Community Health Center have been perceived as the same for the last 30 or 35 years, as having come from 3 zip codes immediately surrounding Syracuse Community Health Center, which happen to be some of the poorest zip codes in the country. And the organization has really not thought much more about who its consumers are, other than they're the folks that live right around us, and that's what we're here to serve. And certainly that's the central mission of the organization, is to serve the poor and the underserved, and provide access to necessary healthcare services. But with Zoey, we've been able to take those conversations much further and much deeper and explore other market opportunities and really segment that overall market and understand that it's not just the same across 3 zip codes, but there are various populations and segments within that particular market. Those conversations we've never would have had before, and wouldn't be having today if it wasn't for Zoey. We're hearing better feedback. We're hearing really good feedback from social media ads. We're present now And I think we're present where people did not expect us to be. And that means that we're now hitting the market correctly, where we weren't before. So I think we're starting to be viewed much more positively. I really love the way that we have sub-branded the service lines and matched it up with the overall company logo and identity. I think it's made a huge difference for us. Big agencies have lots of big companies, and they don't necessarily have time and room to treat you on a personal level like a smaller agency does. I love our weekly exchanges. I love being challenged. I love challenging back. I love the fact that they listen and don't take my ideas and just toss it aside because Zoe's the expert and I'm not. I really enjoy that a lot. I would strongly encourage using Zoey without question. I worked on producing commercials for my first hospital I worked with back in 1990. And I've touched marketing and promotion and advertising throughout my 33-year career. And I can tell you this is the best firm I've ever worked with. You should know that you're going to get a quality advertising firm that is got that cliched but personal touch to it, that you're going to have a partnership, not a vendor that's providing a service. And I think that's what's most important.